Zeit starten wir direkt in unser Recording rein. Sehr cool. 10, 10, 10, 8, 5. Okay, okay. Ich sag ja immer, selbst wenn du nicht bei einer 10 bist, finde ich es richtig geil, dass du in diesem Call bist, dass du auf diesen Call gekommen bist, weil ich weiß, dass wenn du gerade bei einer 4 bist, dass du nach diesem Call bei einer 6 sein wirst, okay? Deswegen, du hast alles richtig gemacht. Dir muss es nicht immer perfekt gehen, um die Dinge zu machen. Ganz im Gegenteil, indem du die Dinge machst, geht es dir dann immer besser und besser. Okay? Ich freue mich extrem. Wir sind tatsächlich gerade eben erst um, ich glaube, Viertel vor sind wir hier in Wien angekommen. Ja, wir sind ja heute und morgen in Wien. Unsere Tour ist gerade im vollen Gange. Wir haben sehr, sehr viele, ich sehe hier einige Gesichter von Leuten, die wir in den letzten Tagen persönlich sehen durften. Vielleicht auch mal richtige Gespräche endlich mal ja, führen durften, so rum. Und ich freue mich auf jeden Fall, da hinten sitzen die ganzen Wiener gerade mit hier David und Flo. Ich habe gesagt, ich setze mich jetzt kurz weg, damit die sich da schon mal ein bisschen unterhalten können und werde mich nach dem Call auch dazusetzen. Das heißt, wenn du in irgendeiner der Städte bist, die nächsten Tage, freue ich mich auf jeden Fall extrem darauf, dich auch persönlich kennenzulernen oder vielleicht auch wiederzusehen. Ja, es stehen ja noch einige Städte an und lass uns diese Tour auch wirklich nutzen und all eure Interessenten auch mitbringen. Wir haben wirklich unfassbar geile Gespräche hier auch mit Interessenten vor allem und es lohnt sich zu 100%, diese Leute mitzunehmen. Okay? So, wir wollen einmal in den Call reinstarten. Freunde, ganz kurze Frage. Das geht jetzt mal an alle, die schon ein bisschen länger mit uns zusammenarbeiten. Wer kennt denn unseren Special Guest bereits? Schick mal kurz eine Eins in den Chat, wenn du ihn bereits kennst. Wenn du schon mal seinen Namen gehört hast oder irgendwo vielleicht mal eine Live-Session von Mr. Wealthy Pips mitgenommen hast. Einmal eine Eins. Okay, okay. Gar nicht mal so viele, gar nicht mal so viele. Deswegen ist mir wichtig, ganz kurz erstmal auf Deutsch ein paar Worte zu ihm zu verlieren, damit du ihn ein bisschen kennst und weißt, was gleich auf dich zukommen wird. Danach werde ich auch noch auf Englisch umsteigen, weil er Englisch sprechen wird. Und es kam schon ein paar Mal die Frage in den Chat, ob das Ganze übersetzt wird. Nein, es wird nicht übersetzt. Wir machen das Ganze richtig oldschool, so wie man es früher gemacht hat. Früher hat man nicht alles auf einem Silbertablett serviert bekommen, sondern man musste, Überraschung, hier oben was einschalten und mitdenken, ja, um alles verstehen zu können. Auch ich war früher nicht perfekt in Englisch und ich kenne viele, viele Teampartner, die anfangs gefühlt gar kein Englisch verstanden haben. Aber je öfter sie auf solchen englischen Calls gewesen sind und je weniger sie sich den Weg einfacher gemacht haben, ja, sondern indem sie sich da durchgeboxt haben, sind sie heute sehr gut in Englisch und verstehen alles, okay? Deswegen, selbst wenn du das Gefühl hast, du verstehst gar nichts auf Englisch, bleib dran, weil manchmal reicht sogar die Energie, die man von den Menschen aufsaugt. Und dieses Lied, was ich gerade laufen lassen habe, All I Do Is Win, ist tatsächlich genau das Lied, was ich für ihn angemacht habe, weil ich kann es euch gar nicht mehr sagen, ob das mal auf einem Event war oder auf einer Online-Convention war. Aber da habe ich das Lied das erste Mal durch ihn tatsächlich kennengelernt. Das war so ein bisschen sein Einlaufsong und ich dachte mir, wow, mit was für einer Energie er da auf die Bühne gekommen ist. Ich weiß eben nicht mehr, ob das eine richtige oder eine virtuelle Bühne war, aber wie er da auf die Bühne gekommen ist, ich hing ihm an den Lippen fest. Also ich konnte nicht mehr aufhören, ihm zuzuhören und ich war so traurig, als sein Part vorbei war, weil sind wir mal ehrlich, Freunde, wenn wir vielleicht an das reine Trading denken. Ne? Du weißt jetzt, dass das nicht so ist, du weißt, dass das ein Klischee ist, aber wir stellen uns immer super monotone Menschen vor, die vor dem PC sitzen, 300 Bildschirme haben und eine Analyse nach der anderen machen. Glaub mir, wenn du Gustavo gleich kennenlernen wirst, du wirst merken, es geht auch ganz anders. Er hat so eine geile Energy und wenn er anfängt, mit dir übers Trading zu sprechen, ich verspreche dir, du wirst alle Ohrenspitzen, ja. Du wirst alle beide Ohrenspitzen und du wirst voll und ganz ihm zuhören wollen. Und dir wird diese Stunde nicht reichen. Dir wird diese Stunde nicht reichen. Du wirst dir danach denken, oh nein, ich will noch mehr von ihm lernen. Das weiß ich jetzt zu 100% ganz genau, weil ich mich genauso gefühlt habe, als ich ihn das erste Mal sprechen hören habe. Er ist wirklich, ich habe es vorhin in die Telegram-Gruppe geschrieben, er ist wirklich ein Trading-Gott. Man kann ihn wirklich als Trading-Gott bezeichnen. Ja, weil für alle, die ihn auf Instagram nicht folgen, Mr. Wealthy Pips auf Instagram, müsst ihr unbedingt mal folgen. Er hat dort eine Highlight-Story drin mit Testimonials. Freunde, schaut euch diese Summen mal an. Schaut euch mal an, was die Menschen verdienen, die seit 1, 2, 3 Jährchen schon aktiv von ihm lernen. Und unsere Wege haben sich, so wie bei vielen hier, haben sich unsere Wege getrennt, ja, nach unserer ersten Firma, über die ich ihn damals kennenlernen durfte. Ja, aber ich bin unfassbar glücklich darüber, dass auch für ihn All Roads Lead Back Home, ja, dass auch er wieder zu Hause ist, dass wir auch ihn wieder haben, auch von ihm wieder lernen können, weil ich weiß, dass wir jede Menge von ihm lernen werden, dass in ihm unfassbar viel nicht nur Energie steckt, sondern Wissen steckt und dass er das auch noch auf eine richtig coole individuelle Art und Weise rüberbringt. So, I'm gonna switch to English now, because I want Gustavo to also understand what I was talking about the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Gustavo, we have a lot of people who already know you from our old company. And at the same time, we have a lot of people who just joined completely new. So they have no clue who you are. And I had to tell them who you are. I had to explain them what is going to happen in this call right now, because in my opinion, when I met you the first time, I guess it was like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I always thought that a trader, a professional trader is like someone being 24/7 too serious about life and everything. And then I met you and I heard your first speech. And I guess if I'm not wrong, I think All I Do Is Win was a song that you used to go on stage. And I was like, oh my God, what a power, what an energy. So, and then when you started talking, I was completely I was completely I was completely blown away from your part. And from then on, I loved listening to you. I loved learning from you. And I'm so happy about you being here at Akashex with us. Because when I saw the flyer for the first time, I was like, oh my God, what? Mr. Wealthy Pips is back on track. And I'm so grateful that you took your time to jump on our German team call, just to make sure that everyone can start learning from you, can meet you. So we are so grateful. Guys, let us show Gustavo how grateful we are. Let's put some flames, let's put some love into the chat. We appreciate you being here and the stage is yours. I'm so excited. Let's go.
Okay, awesome, man. Let's go. I'm over here. I'm getting water in my eyes. I'm so excited. I see everybody with their cameras on. I'm just like, wow, 140 people on a Zoom. Hey, look, I got to give it up to all of you guys, the Germany team. I know we got Scandinavia in the house as well. I mean, guys, you guys got me excited. I don't know if you're excited, but I'm excited. You know, I get excited to do what I do best, you know, help people, educate people, teach people. But man, you guys got me on a whole nother level, man. And yo, shout out to Janina. I think you're a DJ. I ain't gonna lie. Janina's a DJ. She's got a good playlist. I was over here, like, I was watching you guys vibe out. I texted my team. I'm like, you guys better get on this call because these guys' energy is up. So shout out to Janina. I appreciate you so much. It's crazy because I've been seeing her from afar as well. And shout out to all the lady bosses. Shout out to all the women on the call. I want you ladies to understand you are very powerful, not only as a woman, but also as a woman in business, right? I condemn and salute each and every single one of you guys. And Janina, keep doing what you're doing. Keep that energy high and keep playing those bangers, those tunes, because you're really a DJ. You're really a DJ. Also, shout out to Simon. Man, Simon reached out to me last week. And I want you guys to really understand, you know, when a leader at that type of level, you know, Simon has been in this industry for quite some time. I've seen this guy when he was seeing no success to where he's at now. And for him to reach out to me, to ask, to give value, to educate you guys, I want you guys to understand that doesn't really happen quite so often when an elite individual like Simon reaches out to another elite individual. It doesn't happen quite so often, but collaborations are very key. And I just want to say, first things first, man, shout out to my man Simon. Let's show him some love. Let's drop some sevens in the chat for him. Because if you guys don't know, if Simon didn't say yes, if he didn't take that leap of faith, nobody would be on his Zoom call right now. So let's show some love to Simon, man. Yo, Simon, my brother, I appreciate you once again, man. Thank you for considering me, just for having me here, man. You know, I get on Zoom calls all the time, and 140 people, I never see that. It's been a while. And as Janina told you guys, some of you guys know who I am, right? For you guys that know who I am, maybe you don't know who I am. My name is Gustavo Alanis. They call me Mr. Wealthy Pips. I live out here in the United States. You know what's crazy? Some of you guys don't even know, right? I'm Honduran, which I'm Hispanic. And some of y'all don't even know this. My great-grandfather was German. I'm 2% German. I don't know if you guys know that. So it's in my genealogy of family tree. For some of you guys that don't know, I don't know how to speak German, but I do need to learn it. Listening to Janina, I was like, man, I don't understand it, but I want to understand it. Right. So I don't know if you guys know that I am part German. So I'm even more excited to be on here with you guys. But, you know, like I said, for you guys that know who I am, don't know who I am, my name is Gustavo Alanis. They call me Mr. Wealthy Pips. I've been trading for now 11 years, guys. 11 years. I'm 30 years old. Like I said, I live out here in the States. I live in Arizona. You know, just being a part of entrepreneurship as a whole, the past 11 years, I've learned so much. I've understood how trading works. I've understood how network marketing works. I understood how traditional business works. And I know you guys here today, yeah, a long time, right? You ask yourself, like, I don't know a lot of people that have stuck to something for 10 plus years, you know? So when you do see somebody like myself or somebody that has been doing something for 10 plus years, you need to really understand, like, man, they must know a little something. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a little something, right? But tell you guys, look, I'm gonna tell you my background story so you know who I am. I'm gonna give you guys some trading gems as well, so you can go right after this call, apply to your trading, right? And I'm gonna talk about Akashex as a whole and how you could not only become a product of the product and benefit from the services and products that we have, but what if you could become a top leader like Janina? What if you could become a top leader like Simon? What if you could build an organization off of bricks, not sticks and stones? What if you build something where people they come and look at your guys' team and they're like, hey, these guys, yeah, they're trading. They're doing a thing. They're educating people. It's no hype, right? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I want you guys to understand. I don't like the hype. I don't like the hype. I like the high energy. But when I say hype is how many of you guys have, in a sense, dealt with previous groups or previous ventures or previous companies, and you came in and you were like, I want to make money, I want to see results. And then month after month after month goes by, you didn't really see any results or anything at all, right? I think that's happened to a lot of us, right? See, it's happened to me as well because when I first started this thing, I didn't have mentorship. I didn't have help. I didn't have people like Janina, like Simon to guide me, to mentor me. So one thing I want you guys to understand, you know, through my journey, you know, I dropped out of high school at age 18. You guys, anybody dropped out of high school? All right, I don't know, maybe the school system is a little different in Europe, but when I left middle school, right, I only lasted 2 years in high school. So for people who are wondering, is Gustavo smart? Is he intelligent? Well, I believe I'm smart and intelligent in my way, but I'm not so book smart. But do I read books? Yes, I've read all the books, the Robert Kiyosaki, the Compound Effect, The Secret. You see, a lot of the things you hear Janina, Simon talk about, if you think negative, you get negative. If you think positive, you get positive. The law of attraction. You see, at age 19 is when I found out how to think for myself. And I want you guys to understand this. I became wealthy and rich in my mind before I became wealthy and rich in my pockets. I'm going to say this again. I became rich and wealthy in my mind before I became rich and wealthy in my pockets. If you guys think Janina and Simon and me, the way we speak, the way we connect with people, if you think that happened overnight, I'm telling you, it didn't happen overnight. I guarantee you, they put a lot of long days, a lot of long nights, read a lot of books, followed a lot of successful people. I bet you they even failed on their face a few times. I know I have. And I want everybody to understand here. Look, I know there's a system that we have, right, with Tap to Trade. You can come in and you can, you know, copy the experts and you can see results. But what if one day, let's just say one day Tap to Trade isn't here, but you could learn on your own. You yourself be self-sufficient. I'm not gonna lie. The Germans, you guys have been getting on my sessions more than a lot of other countries that I've seen. After today, right, I'm going to invite you guys to learn my strategy that's called TSK that has single-handedly has made things a lot more simple and a lot more clearer for people. But I want you to understand everything that Akashex has to offer, I want you to take advantage of. The Tap to Trade, the live sessions, the scanners, the tools, the mentorship calls, the extra Zoom calls you see. I want you to take advantage of everything. But see, my goal, as much as we take advantage of all the products and all the tools, I say this all the time, and I want you guys to type it in the chat. What if you could be a product of the product? Say it, product of the product. Put it in the chat, product of the product. Because what if I told you I didn't become a successful trader by looking at the charts all day and all night? Yes, 11 years, I put a lot of time and work into it. But what if I told you I put in the time and the work on focusing on one thing and one thing only? What is it that they say? Focus, Focus, focus on one course until successful. You see, I don't want to take you guys off track today, but I want to put you on the right track if you really simply want to learn how to trade. Because what if I told you I can make trading simple as in 1, 2, 3 for you to understand? Now, it might take some time for you to implement and see results. But just like I said in the beginning, you have to understand it all starts with mindset. We cannot come into this with a gambler's mindset. You see, when I came into this, I didn't have a gambler's mindset. I was broke, busted, and disgusted, and I needed a way out. I needed to make money instantly, but I knew money wasn't going to come instantly. I knew I had to put in time. I had to put in work. I had to be a student. It's just like going to class, guys. Think about how many Zoom calls have you got on to the point where you've had those breakthroughs? Some of you guys are like, oh, another Zoom call, another session. It's like school, right? You don't like going to, let's be honest. You know, I dropped out of high school age 18. I didn't like going to school. I didn't like being told what to do and how to do. But when I found out that there's a class where I could make money, find out about financial freedom, hey, if it's called Wealth 101, count me in. I bet you I pass it with flying colors now. But guess what? That's what we have here at Akashex, right? So guys, look, my background story to kind of give you guys just a little rundown, because I want to show you guys, I want to give you guys some value. I want to show you guys the charts. I want you guys to understand this. I'm nobody special. I'm an average kid with above average dreams. You know, when I first heard about trading, just so you guys can understand my point of view, right? When I heard about trading, I never forget, I took a trip to Miami and I saw a guy driving a Mercedes Benz and he lived in a penthouse. And see, I'm the type of individual, maybe some of you guys are the same. You don't have to persuade, convince, or sell me. Just show me. If you could just show me whether it's a lifestyle or something that you've accomplished doing, then I'm the type of individual, I will look at you and I will like, oh, okay, if you could do it, I could do it. And I want everybody to look at life that way. I want you to look at me like, man, if Gustavo, a high school dropout, no diploma, no GED, could figure out this trading thing and he put in over 10 years, what if I told you I could help you minimize it? Instead of going for 10 years, you can master the skill set in maybe 2 years, 3 years. That's why we have Akashex. That's why we have the tools. That's why we have the educators, right? To skip that learning curve. Some of you guys are probably like, well, you told me I got to go 10, 11 years, Gustavo, to trade like you? No, you don't. You don't, right? Now, I got a question for everybody here before we move on, okay? Because I know everybody here is different. Everybody's goals are different. I want to know, what is your long-term goal with the Akashex? Not short-term. I want to know, what is your long-term goal for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years? What is your long-term goal? Let me know in the chat. I want to know. Just so I know who I'm talking to, just so I know what you guys want to get out of this. I see a lot of freedom to live from trading. Hey, I know that's a good one. Freedom. I see a lot of freedom. If you think about it, we all are relating on the same page. We all want what? Freedom. Financial freedom, time freedom. And it's crazy because as we talk about freedom, do you guys understand being rich and wealthy are two different things? Does anybody know that? Do you know the difference between being rich and being wealthy? You see, being rich, I'm going to break it down for you. People that you know that are rich, they have a lot of money in the bank, but they're always at what? They're always at work. Edward said no. Hey, I get you, bro. But think about it. Most people, though, that are rich, they have a lot of money, but you never see them shopping. You never see them living life. You always see them working. Now, what is the difference between being wealthy? You're probably like, well, you should tell us. You're wealthy pips, right? You know what I've learned? Something that you will never, ever get back. You see, we've been on this call for 20 minutes, roughly. And you guys know, it's your time. Your time. That time you spend on the sessions, on the Zooms, on the events, that's time that you will never, ever get back. So when I think about being wealthy, I think about, okay, I have all the money in the world, all the riches in the world, but I also have all the time in the world. You see, I don't know if you guys know, right? And I'll tell you guys here, because you guys are showing me so much love. My life has changed tremendously,
not only over the past few years, but even just as recently, because, you know, for making a lot of money, traveling all over the world, like I said, you know, the experience is what I really, really live for. And the past 2 years of my life of making big transitions to making Akashex my home here, I want you guys to understand that your time is the most valuable asset that you have. Your time is the most valuable asset that you have. So with me, I'm very aware of my time. I tell people this: if it's not making you money, giving you any value, then why are you doing it? Is it making deposits into your bank account, or is it making withdrawals into your bank account? You see, me, life has changed for me, and it's not just about money anymore. It's not just about legacy anymore, right? It's about being able to really revolutionize the whole entire world in each and every single way that I possibly can, whether it's through business, whether it's through spiritually, mentally. It doesn't matter. Me, I know I want to make a change in the world in some way, shape, or form. So when we talk about being rich and being wealthy, you can have all the riches in the world and you can still be miserable. I know people that have all the money in the world and they're still miserable. I know successful traders that live off of trading, and guess what? They're miserable too. So I'm here to tell you, don't make money the main thing. Don't make you know, the riches and all the finer things in life the main thing. Me, I find peace in helping the world, and me bringing in, you know, how could I say? Me just making the world a better place, being able to be the change in the world that people want to see. So I tell people this all the time: if you want to change the world, you have to be the change the world wants to see, right? So me, you know, a few years ago, as you guys know, the previous company we were a part of, I became an educator. And, you know, my thing was always being a product of the product. And when I say being a product of the product, I mean being a trader, being an educated trader, and being a profitable trader. How can you be an educated trader? How can I be a profitable trader? I'm going to say it again. You have to be a product of the product. You don't have to be a trader. Some of you guys think you got to be up all day, all night. What if I told you there's people I know personally that I mentor that in a matter of less than a year, right, they understand the concept of trading and they can also apply what it is that I teach. Some of us are different, obviously, but there's people that have been able, like, think about it. You're learning from somebody that has been trading for 10, 11 years, and they're showing you how to trade in less than 1 year. Think about, look at that learning curve. Look at how much time I'm saving each and every single one of you guys, right? So what I want to do real quick, I want to pull this up so you guys can start getting some gems from me, right? Because I don't like to talk too much. I like to show. You know, a lot of people like to talk. I like to show, right? So let me request host real quick, Janina. I appreciate you so much. All right, cool. Let's get to it. Guys, I'm going to give you the 3 keys to trading. I got my brother, Mr. Jordan Belfort, here with us today. This is something that I've taught to hundreds and thousands of people all over the world. Maybe some of you guys have seen it before, but this is it. And when I say this is it, is that I like to keep the main thing. Okay? Let's keep the main thing, because I'm going to show you how I came into this, became a product of the product, then I became the product, and then I helped other people do the same exact thing. What if there comes a time and a place, ladies and gentlemen, when people buy into you? They don't buy into Tap to Trade or the educators. They buy into you, because I've learned through this business, people do not join companies, products, or services. People join people. You see, when people look at a trading platform, right, they want to learn how to what? How to trade. So you would join and work with somebody that's what? A trader, right? Now, I've changed the game where you don't always have to be the trader, quote unquote, but at least know what you are doing, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to, look, I'm telling you, take the stress off of your shoulders. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be up all day, up all night. You don't have to be all this to be the master trader. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to be a master trader to make money. No. There's people that are less smarter than me and they're making this work. But these 3 keys, let's talk about it. Look, I'm not DJ Khaled, but I'm going to give you the 3 keys, right? The 3 keys to trading. This is what's helped me the past 10, 11 years go from 0 to hero. Now, results are not typical. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I did. I'm not telling you that this is what you have to do, but this is what I did. Does that make sense? Okay. As I talk about the grind, the work, the process, if you don't know, it takes over 10,000 hours to master a skill set. And that's any type of skill set. Boxing, wrestling. I know you guys love soccer out there, right? Let's talk about it. If you want to be a big time soccer player, you got to put a lot of training sessions in, practice sessions in, right? You got to do all that good stuff. You see, you think about it, for somebody that's been doing this for 11 years, you'd be like, man, 1,000 hours a year. Think about that. Do the math on that. Every year for the past 11 years, I put 1,000 hours into the skill set. Now, some of you are like, well, Gustavo, I don't have that time. I got a family, I got kids, I got this, I got that. I get it, right? We all have what we have going on, right? But for somebody like myself, you know, for the past 10 years, no kids, no family, right? I've had a lot of time on my hands. For you guys that are young on here, if let's say you're under 25 years old, you have no kids, you have a lot of time freedom, you could do what you want, right? There's no excuse to you guys that are under 25 as to why you should not be putting 10,000 plus hours into the skill set. And when we say 10,000 plus hours, like I said, this could be doing anything in life. But as we talk about 10,000 plus hours to master the skill set, obviously we're talking about what? We're talking about trading, right? So in the 10-year span, I've put over 10,000 plus hours. To be honest, I think I've put in well over maybe 40, 50,000 at this point. But the 3 keys, as I understand there is a process, right? Number 1, I say it all the time. You have to trust that process. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to work at AutoZone selling car parts, and I was making $9 an hour. I was barely making $1,000 a month. And I remember I had a cracked iPhone 5. I was trading off a cracked iPhone 5. Look, today I got an iPhone 16 and it's not cracked. Think about that. I used to work at AutoZone selling car parts, barely making $1,000 a month. And I remember when I used to take a break from my job, right, from working my job there, I used to look at my cracked iPhone 5 and I said, man, we're going to get out of here one day. One day we're going to get out of this situation. I'm not going to be working here. I'm going to be making money off of my cracked iPhone 5. How many of us talk to ourselves like that? Because this is the thing, what I love about the concept here at Akashex. You have the opportunity to free yourself in multiple different ways. Trading is one thing, right? Building a business is another, right? Obviously, you have other ways with the travel club. You have so many different ways here that you can make this work. So whatever lane you take, right? Understand that you have to trust the process, right? Number 2, let's talk about it. You got to know what you're trading. You see, when you get a tap to trade sent out to you, at least know what you're buying and what you're selling. You see how it says click approve? Okay. When it says approve and all that, I just want you to look at the currency pair, right? Like if I send a tap to trade out, I just want you to be aware of what you're approving. Just don't click approve just to click approve. Be aware. Be like, okay, Gustavo said, we're going to buy gold. Okay, this is the price. Okay, just so I know I'm buying gold, approve. Knowing what you're trading is one thing. Know at what time to trade is another. What sessions do you guys trade? Can anybody tell me? What sessions do you guys mainly trade? New York session, London session, let me know. Asia, okay, I like it, I like it. London, New York, okay. So when you talk about what to trade, also know what time to trade, like I said. So you guys have a session, London, New York, Asia. Okay, awesome. Number 3, let's move on. This is the most important one, and most people overlook this, and this is some of the reasons why people think trading is a scam or it's one of those things. Guys, I've been doing this for 11 years. I've took a lot of losses, okay? My first few years when I was taking those losses, I was like, man, I took some losses. But when I started to understand risk management, risking what I have, not what I don't have, everything changed for me. You see, some of us here, little did you know, risk management can save your trading. Because some of us, okay, you look at a tap to trade. Let's say if I send a tap to trade and you look at what to trade, what time you're trading, but do you ever pay attention to the risk? You see, if some of you, and this is just the honest truth, if some of you guys knew how much you were losing per trade, you would look at trading a whole lot different. You see, I have a very strict plan when it comes to trading. All right. I risk 30 pips, 30 points to catch 50 to 100 points every single time. And guess what? I am so committed to my lot size. And we're going to talk about lot sizes, right? I'm so committed to my lot size that every single time my stop loss gets hit, I know how much I'm going to lose. What if you could enter a trade confidently and you're like, okay, this is how much I'm going to lose. This is how much I'm going to gain. And then you go into the trade with a different mindset. How would you feel? Instead of just clicking approve and you're like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. It's just going to do what it does. Look, remember, you don't have to be the best trader. I just need you to be aware of what you're approving and what you're trading. Does that make sense? Because once you're aware and know what you're doing, it's so much more simpler to share it with family and friends, guys. How many of your friends and family try to ask you questions about trading and you're like, TTT? It happens to all of us. But what if you could answer that question, right? What if you could show somebody, hey, look, you know, if you actually take this trade and we risk this to gain this, this is how much you could lose. This is how much you could gain. What if you could educate people as you're educating yourself? You'd feel a lot more confident about Akashics, right? So remember these 3 keys. Number 1, trust the process. Number 2, know what you're trading, know what time to trade. And number 3, risk what you have, not what you don't have. Guys, if you're putting in your lifetime savings into your trading account, you're doing it wrong. Do not do that. Think about putting your lifetime savings into a trading account and you don't know what you're trading. You don't know what time to trade, nothing. You're just clicking, clicking, and clicking, and clicking. Trust me, you would call it a scam, right? Now, when I talked about lot sizes, some of us don't know about lot sizes. Let me educate you, right? As some of us know, when you take a tap to trade, you have a preset lot size, right? But that's for your tap to trade account. I'm talking for your personal account, right? I think most of you guys are trading euros, correct? So let's say you have 100 euros or 500 euros or 1,000 euros, right? Depending on that account size is going to be equivalent to your lot size. Just pay attention here. Don't lose yourself here. Listen, when we talk about lot sizes, right, we're going to start off here on the micro lot. Don't focus on the nano lot. We're going to start on micro lot, mini lot, and standard lot. When I say risk what you have, not what you don't have, you have to understand your lot size. When we talk about a micro lot size, the unit is 1,000 of a unit, the volume of a 0.01, and the dollar per pip value is 10 cents per pip. I'm going to say this again, right? Micro lot is 1,000 of a unit, volume of 0.01, and a dollar per pip value of 10 cents per pip. So for example, if we were to catch 10 pips on a micro lot on a 0.01, what is the profit margin on that? Can anybody tell me? 10 pips on a 0.10 micro lot. What is the profit on that? Can anybody tell me? Let me tell y'all something. 2 things I know how to do as a high school dropout. I count my pips and I count my blessings. I know that's 2 things I know how to do. I know how to count my pips and count my blessings. Okay, that would be $1 profit, right? Now, let's say we go to a mini lot. A mini lot is 10,000 of a unit, volume of 0.10, and the dollar per pip value is $1 per pip. For example, if we caught 100 pips on a day on a mini lot, What is the profit margin on that? $100. You see, what I love about the mini lot is once you get to a mini lot, every pip you catch is worth $1. So think about it. If you catch 50 pips in a day, you made $50. If you catch 100 pips in a day, you make $100. Guys, I'm being honest. You don't have to be smart to make money. And you don't have to be smart to be a trader. Okay? Now, let's go from $1 per pip to the standard lot, which is $10 per pip, right? Standard lot is 100,000 of a unit, 1.00, right? Which is the volume, 1.00. And the dollar per pip value is $10 per pip. For example, if we caught 10 pips on $10 per pip, what is the profit margin on that? $100. So think about it. If you caught 10 pips, you make $100. You catch 20 pips, you make what? $200. 30 pips, $300. 40 pips. You guys get what I'm saying? It is not hard at all. Remember, count your pips and count your blessings. So look, if you're trading on your personal account, I'm not talking about the prop firms, right, guys? I want you to understand, take advantage of the prop firms, pass your 10K challenge, whatever challenge you have, get your payouts, do what you do. But when we talk about having your personal account, you know, some of us are maybe different. Some of us can maybe put 100, maybe 500, or maybe 1,000 euros into an account. I recommend this, right? And I want to pull up my chart real quick so everybody has this. Give me 1 second, guys. Right, and this is just my recommendation, okay? Look at that, Bitcoin's right at the retest level, right? If you have 100 euros, right, in your account, I'm going to tell you to risk no more than a 0.02, 0.05. This is your lot size right here. 0.02, 0.05. Now, you have to have a 30 pip risk, right? This is how my trading, I'm giving you guys my trading plan. This trading plan has been duplicated hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. For people that tell you, oh, you can't make money off 100 euros. Who said that? The person that probably has never made money off 100 euros trading, right? So remember, on a $100 account, don't risk no more than 0.05. No more. How many pips do we risk? 30 pips. Now look, nothing changes. It's still 30 pip risk, right? $500 account, I'm going to tell you to risk a 0.10, which is $1 per pip, right? 30 pip risk, same thing. For example, if I risk 30 pips on $1 per pip and my stop loss hits, that means I lose what? $30. But if my TP1 hits for 50 pips, I make $50, right? Now, let's move forward. $1,000, right? 0.25, no more than a 0.25 if you have 1,000 euros you're trading, right? This right here equals $2.50 per pip. This is also a 30 pip risk. Are you guys with me? Can I get some sevens in the chat if you guys are following me here? I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Right? I tell people this, right? If you focus on the risk factor more than the profit factor, you would feel a lot more comfortable trading, right? Because TP1 is always, like I say, 50 pips, right? TP1, hold on, y'all, right? TP1 is always 50 pips, right? TP1 on a 0.05, right? It equals 25 euros, right? This is only 50 pips on a 0.05. If I go 100 pips, which is TP2, right? My typical TP2, right? 100 pips this is going to equal $50 in profit. Remember, this is only for a $100 account if you're trading on a 0.05, 0.02. Now look, it gets even more interesting, right? TP1, as we say, is 50 pips, right? For a $500 account, okay? On 50 pips, on 50 pips, on a 0.10 is going to equal $50. TP2 is going to be 100 pips, same thing. Remember, nothing changes but the lot size, right? $1 per pip, 100 pips on TP2. Look at this. 100 pips equals $100. And this is just on a $500 account. But I tell people this, don't focus on TP2. Don't focus on 100 pips. Focus on 50 pips. How can we catch 100 if we can't catch 50? So let's take it back a little bit. Let's focus on 50 pips, not 100. Because once you can catch 50 pips, eventually you can catch 100 pips, right? So look, on a daily, I want you guys to pay attention. You can make up to $25 a day, $50 a day. And then if you're trading on a $1,000 account, okay, TP1, I don't know if you guys are doing the math, right? 50 pips, same thing. But on a 0.25, can anybody tell me what that profit margin is? That's $125 for every 50 pips. The mindset is what you need to learn. Hey, I feel that. We all do, right? Look at this. This is what's possible when you follow this trading plan. Focus on 50 pips, guys. Don't worry about the 100. You'll catch 100 eventually, but focus on 50 pips. If you can catch 50 pips over and over and over, think about it. 50 pips on a Monday, 50 pips on a Tuesday, 50 pips on a Wednesday, 50 pips on a Thursday. How many pips is that? That's 200 pips in 1 week. You see, I remember when I used to go from making 50 pips per day, and then when I started catching those 50 pips every day, I started catching 50 pips per trade. So I was doing 2 trades a day. They were both going for 50 pips. How many pips is that? 100 pips. So imagine you take 2 trades a day, one hits for 50 pips, another one hits for 50 pips, you're up what? 100 pips. That's on a Monday. Tuesday comes, you do the same thing. 50 pips on here, 50 pips on this one. You're up 200 pips now, and it's only Tuesday. Do you guys get my drift now? Wednesday, same thing. 50 pips here, 50 pips here. Now you're up 300 pips. The thing is, the reason why you guys don't see it like that is because you're focusing on hitting a home run your first trade all the time. A lot of you guys, you're focusing on swinging for the fence. It's okay. I was like that as well. But I tell you this, if you're going to swing for the fence, if you're going to go big for the first time, you will get humbled. And if you don't get humbled, the market will humble you. But I want you to do the math. If you could make 50 euros every day, 100 euros every day, could you do something with that? Could you pay your phone bill? Could you pay utility bill? But I tell you guys this, focus on 50 pips. All right? Focus on 50 pips, right? Let's move on. Risk to reward is important. And some of us don't know risk to reward. Let me pull this up, right? Risk to reward equals money. Risk to reward equals freedom in trading. You see, my trading has changed over the years because, you know, believe it or not, guys, I used to risk 50 pips per trade. I risk 50 pips per trade. And the thing is with me is I didn't know that I could actually risk less and make more. This is where everything changed for me. Some of you guys are going to have ooh, Gustavo, I get you now. A 1-to-1. Let's talk about it. If I was to tell you, hey, we're going to risk 100 euros to make 100 euros, does that get you excited? No. Let's say I risk 100 euros to make 200 euros. Would that get you excited? What if we could risk 100 euros to make 300, 400, 500 euros? Now you're like, yeah, I like the sound of that, right? You see, this is the thing about risk to reward. This will make it or break it for you. Because I realize in trading, like I said, you don't have to risk more. You could risk less and make more and actually trade less at the same time. You see, some of us are used to a one-to-one risk to reward, and that's fine. I used to do that. I used to risk 50 pips to make 50 pips. Now, I want you to think about this. I used to trade on I was trading on a standard lot size. I was risking 50 pips to make 50 pips. So that means I was risking 500 euros just to make 500 euros. What would your mindset be knowing that you're risking 500 euros to make 500 euros? You'd probably think like, I'm gambling, right? Because it's either going to be hit or miss. I'm either going to lose 500 euros or win 500 euros. He said, I'd do the opposite. So when I say these things about one-to-one risk to reward, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, 1-to-4, 1-to-5, you will become profitable when you start trading a 1-to-3, 1-to-4, 1-to-5. Yes, you could be profitable trading 1-to-1, but who wants to think to themselves, man, I'm risking 500 euros to make 500 euros every single trade? How would your mindset be? You'd be like, man, I'm gambling. When is this going to change? I'm risking 500 to make 500. Like, I can't risk 300 to make 500. So with scaling your trading account, you need to understand the risk to reward ratio, right? Let's move it on. Does anybody know who the top 10 currency traders are in the world? It ain't me, I'll tell you that. It ain't me. Let me educate you guys, because I want you to understand when we talk about these markets, these big boy markets, it's more than just me and you, right? Major banks and hedge funds participate in these markets, such as Citibank, JP Morgan Bank, UBS, Deutsche Bank. You guys know about that, right? Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. Some of you guys probably didn't even know this. Did you know this? Let me tell you, if you thought I was one of the top 10 traders in the world, I don't know who lied to you, because it's not me. These banks, hedge funds, institutions, these are the big boys. These are the people that actually move the market, right? And then we talk about, hedge funds. If you guys don't know, you could literally look this up, right? Bridgewater Associates is the #1 hedge fund in the entire world. Right? They have been managing over 124 billion in assets since 1975. So what have I told you when you see those big moves happen in the market? Who remembers? I think it was April, the beginning of April, the end of March, the tariffs hit the market. And what happened to the market? The market went crazy, right? People like Bridgewater and Associates were some of those people, right, that moved the market. So let's talk about it. What makes the market move? Can anybody answer that question? I just gave it to you, but I want you to answer it because I want you to be educated. Because if you think it's just people like me and you that move the market, no, it's way more than that. It's big banks, hedge funds, institutions, big boys that are moving the market. Right? He said Trump decision. Yeah. When Trump said China and he said tariffs, the market went nuts. Right? But look, this is what makes the market moves. Banks, hedge funds, institutions, and guess what? Economy crisis and things that are happening around the world. Are you guys aware that when catastrophes happen around the world, it makes the market move? Do you guys know that? You guys are aware of that, right? So the thing with me is understanding what's very important, right? Because what I like to teach, right, is very simple. I'm going to show you. You see, in my strategy that I teach every single week, there's three things I focus on. But number one, I'm going to talk to you about the first one. And we talk about trending markets. Okay? When the market moves in either direction, it only has three ways that it can move. It either moves up, which is a bullish trend, or it moves down if it's a bearish trend. Can you guys see my screen? Can I get a thumbs up, Janina, if you guys can see my screen? Okay, we're good. Okay. Pay attention here, right? We're gonna wrap up here in a second, right? If the market is going up, this is what we call a bullish trend. If the market is going down, this is what we call a bearish trend. Now, if the market isn't going up or down and you see that it's moving sideways, that is what we call ranging and consolidation. You see, my main focus when I look at any type of opportunity in the market, any type of trade, I always look for trending markets, right? What is an example of trending markets? Let me show y'all, right? You see, we have so many different markets that we can trade here, right? We're just so happen to be blessed to be trading the most liquidable market, which is the Forex market, right? But as you can see here on the right side, I have multiple different markets that I trade, right? But right now, as we talk about trending markets, right? One trending market happens to be what? Bitcoin. Everybody and their grandma and Tia Marina is talking about Bitcoin, right? But as well, gold is also a trending market as well, right? Is anybody aware of trading gold? If you guys have followed me for the past few months since I've been on the platform, you guys will know gold is one of my go-tos, right? And if we look at gold here, right, on a bigger time frame, this is the weekly, right? I want you guys to look at this. The weekly time frame, you look at this on a weekly basis, gold has done nothing but what? Go up. Look at this. I tell this to everybody. If you're ever in doubt, zoom out. Remember, if you're ever in doubt, zoom out. Because you do not always want to look at things on a short term, but you want to look at things on a long term. I got a question for you guys. The first time you ever heard about gold, do you know the price of it? Can you tell me, anybody in the chat? The first time you ever heard about gold, what price was it at? What price was it at? Can anybody tell me? 1,200. Okay, Max, appreciate the participation. 700, 1,900. Man, look at these numbers. Anybody else? Okay, 2,400. But I'm talking about like the first time you ever heard about gold, like gold. Some of exactly, I was just about to say that, Denise. Some of us don't even know. You probably don't even remember. But can you guys give me like a year time frame? Like what year maybe? 2000, 2005, 2010? Anybody? 2002. Okay, cool. Right. The reason why I asked is because regardless if you're educated now, right? Obviously, you could have been educated back then. But just to show you, right, is when people talk about things the most of the time, it's kind of, in my opinion, is like you're late to the investment, or in a sense. Imagine if you would have gotten gold when it was at $500 an ounce, $1,000 an ounce. You know what's crazy? Before I even looked at a chart, right? Gold was already a thing. I started trading in the year late of 2015 going into 2016, right? Let's really label this so you guys can really understand the history behind this, right? Right, 2015, 2016. And I never forget, I was in New York City, right? And New York City is one of my favorite cities to go to. If you guys never been to New York City, I recommend you go to New York City, right? Gold was trading at 1,400, 1,500, and 1,600. And I remember the years of 2017, 2018. And I remember I told myself, well, prices eventually gonna have to hit an area, right, where it's gonna soar higher and higher. Because as I look at gold on a bigger time frame, bigger outlook, It's only been going up, as you guys can see, right? Now, when we talk about trending markets, right, we see gold is trending, right? The second thing I like to add is market structure. Do you know about structure? Do you understand market structure? Because remember this, the market moves in two different letter formations. When the market is going down, what letter do you see? M formation. When the market is going up, what letter do you see? W formation. Some of y'all are like, hey, this is kind of simple, Gustavo. This is how I teach trading. 11 years, you think I'm going to make it hard for you? Got to make it simple for you. So remember this, when the market is trending up, you look for what formation? W formation. When the markets are trending down, you look for M formations, right? Now, when we talk about the structure of M and W, let's talk about key levels. Do you guys know about key levels? You see psychological numbers. One thing about me when it comes to trading, I like psychological numbers because I've realized every single time I've traded different markets, the euro, Great British pound, the Canadian, doesn't matter what. Numbers, guys, never lie. Remember, women lie, men lie, but numbers never, ever, ever lie. And when I talk about numbers in the market, I like to talk about whole numbers. So for example, you look at this level right here, 1,500 on gold, right? Previously, from 2011 to 2013, I wasn't trading gold. I didn't know what gold, I didn't know you could trade gold. I didn't know anything about trading, but look at this. Just to look back, the history of price, right? You see price hit 1,500, right? Went up and then came down, right? This was back in 2011. But look what happens. Pay attention to the timeline. Life goes on, time moves on, and look, year after year, price ends up going back to the 1,000 price range. Let's not forget the 1,500 range right here, right? Hold on. All right, let's not forget this level, 1,500 right here, right? One thing I always say is history always repeats itself. History always repeats itself. Look what happens. As time goes by, price hits that $1,000 region, and look, it bounces off of $1,000. I say this all the time. When price hits a certain key level, price is either going to break or it's either going to bounce. Here it hit 1,000 and it bounced. Then look what happened. Price kept going up, kept trending, and then it hit 1,500. Y'all remember the 1,500 level? Some of y'all don't even know. Does anybody know what happened in March of 2020? I'm about to blow y'all's minds away. You're about to be like, what? Anybody know what happened in March of 2020? Anybody? COVID. Look at this. I can't make this up. Price on gold hovered above 1,500. March 2nd, March 9th, March 10th, price retested 1,500. Look at this, look at this, look at this. When in doubt, zoom out. Look at this. You see that 1,500 region? See how it reacted here? See how it reacted here? If you would have known the market was trending, 2, it broke structure, and 3, it broke a key level, all you had to do was wait on the break. Here's the retest. Look at this, beautiful retest. Here's the break. Look at the retest. This happened during COVID, guys. I believe it was like a day or two before COVID went viral. Look at 1,500. I remember, like I said, trading gold at 1,500, right? Trading it at 1,100, 1,200, 1,300. Look what happened. Price broke, retested, and look at this. Price never looked back, right? Look at this. 1,600. Then it went up. Then it broke what? Then it broke 2,000. Look what happened at 2,000. Remember, trending market, structure, key level, right? This is, in a sense, a trending market. But look what happens. 2,000 got broken out. Here was the retest. From 2,000, look at this. Price never looked back. Price just kept going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. And look at this. We've hit an all-time high of 3,500. But look at this. From 2,000, we went from 2,000 to what? 2,500 right here. Right, even here, look, I can't make this up. All right, look at this. 2,500 is a key level. Look how price breaks above it, retests, and takes off. Are you guys catching this? Because it's so simple. When you start to apply it, you're like, whoa, Gustavo. Now, look, I shared this link with some people on my team. I know there's quite a few of these guys on here. And even you guys, that are in, Germany, and you guys all over. I want you to drop a 7 in the chat if you've been able to implement this strategy and it's been working for you. All right. I want you to be real with me. All right. Drop a 7 if you've been implementing this and you've been seeing some type of breakthrough. Because this is the thing. Seeing it one time, Miss Michaela Kempf, how are you doing? Good to see you on here. Right? This is the thing. Learning this is one thing. Applying it is another. All right? So this is what I'm going to do. Right? Because I could sit here all day. I could share value with you guys all day, right? This is what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to invite you, right, to come watch me on my sessions, right? I recently just changed my time sessions, right? Due to market conditions. Market conditions are changing, so I have to change up some things about my trading, right? Now, I know this time zone is like a little late for you guys, right? But if you're willing to make it work, willing to make it work, let's make it work. Don't forget, I have all my pre-recorded sessions here as well. Look, if you want to learn the strategy that I just showed you, right, and a little bit more into detail, I want you to go to the Academy, go to Educator Training Series, scroll all the way down, you see my beautiful face, right? And then right here, I have a 3 breakdown video. Day 1 going over trends, day 2 going over structure, and day 3 going over key levels and how to put it all together. I wish I could teach you everything here right now, but time is not on our side right now. But I want you to take that leap of faith. I want you to be like, you know what? I'm going to check it out. All you could do, look, the worst thing that could happen is maybe you don't understand it. But when I tell you I make this as simple as 1, 2, 3, I can teach this to everybody and anybody. All right. Like I said, my live sessions here go live on Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, right? Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, and then Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern. If you miss any of my calls, look, guys, I have it all here. For you guys that don't know how to mark up a chart, you're like, man, I see all these charts. How do I do that, Gustavo? Right here, 5/19/25. I'll show you how to mark up a chart, right? I got all recordings here. It's all here. Look, TSK strategy. I even have the recordings here. Day 1, day 2, day 3. It's all here for you guys. All right. I wish I can give you guys more value because for me, I can go for days. I hope to see you guys on my sessions. If you don't make it on time, get on the recordings. I promise you, you will see a breakthrough. If you dial in and focus and then eventually implement this, right? I've been doing this for 11 years. I have a lot of pride, a lot of energy with this. And I just want to see everybody understand trading because I know a lot of us, we've dealt with previous companies eventually before and they didn't really, understand it too much. I'm here to make sure you understand this in the most simplest way as possible. All right. So Germany, Scandinavia, I appreciate you guys so much. Blessed and grateful to be here with you guys, man. Let's turn this thing up, man. And let's make trading great again. Let's make trading great again. Right? I don't care who you are, where you're from, how old you are. You can make this happen. You can make this work. You just got to put your time, put your blood, sweat, and tears in. I'm telling you, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, right? So guys, thank y'all for having me. Blessed and grateful to be here with you guys. I hope we could do a call real soon again. Janina, sister, I appreciate you so much. And once again, shout out to Simon for putting this together, man. And hey, stay tuned. I'm going to be out there in Europe real soon. All right. Janina, I appreciate you, sis. Take it away.
Okay. So I just heard you coming to Europe. Okay, I'm excited. Can't wait to meet you in person again after such a long time. So thank you so much for taking your time for the call. I am pretty sure that everyone is going to go in the academy to the Educator Training Series and watch your boot camp. I'm pretty sure because I'm going to do it on my own. So friends, we should all do that. Okay, ganz kurz nochmal auf Deutsch. Ich weiß gar nicht, wie es euch gerade geht, aber ich habe hier jetzt schon wieder so viel mitgeschrieben, einige Dinge und ich meine, ich trade auch schon seit 5 Jahren, ja, also ich bin jetzt nicht gestern erst gestartet, aber ich habe mir gerade noch mal so vieles aufgeschrieben, wo ich mir dachte, wow, das habe ich gerade einfach mal noch mal von jemandem genauso erklärt erklärt zu bekommen, so rum, was auch immer. Ich finde es sehr cool, ich habe schon gesehen, überall, jeder hat schon fleißig Stories gemacht. Lasst uns heute aber mal eine Sache machen, ja. Ich finde es ja immer unfassbar wichtig bei solchen Calls, dass man nicht einfach nur zuhört und ja, den Call an sich vorbeiziehen lässt, sondern dass man auch wirklich aktiv bei diesem Call dabei ist. Wie ihr bereits gesehen habt, meine Wenigkeit, ich habe natürlich wie immer meine Notizen gemacht, aber ich hoffe mir sehr, dass du für dich auch Notizen gemacht hast, weil wenn ja, darfst du jetzt einfach mal deine Notizen in der Teamgruppe teilen. Teil deine Notizen einfach mal mit jedem. Vielleicht ist irgendwer dabei, der nicht live auf dem Call dabei war, der deine Notizen sieht und sich nur deswegen das Recording anschauen wird, weil ich glaube, wir sind uns alle einig, wenn ich sage, wir hatten gerade unfassbar viel Mehrwert bekommen. Okay, deswegen, again, thank you so much, Gustavo, for your time. We are excited to, continue learning from you. And I wish you all a great evening because it's already 9 p.m. in Germany. So, wir sehen uns, Freunde. Macht's gut, habt einen schönen Abend. Bis zum nächsten Sonntagscall. Ciao, ciao.